Once upon a time, there was a kind king who was loved by all his subjects. He ruled a vast and beautiful kingdom, filled with lush forests, sparkling rivers, and majestic mountains. The king had many treasures, from glittering jewels to ancient artifacts, but his most prized possession was his horse. The horse was a magnificent creature with a flowing mane and a coat that shimmered like gold in the sunlight. The king loved to ride his horse through the countryside, feeling the wind in his hair and the sun on his face. They would ride through the dense forest together, exploring hidden paths and along the tranquil river, enjoying the serene beauty of nature. The king felt happy and free whenever he was with his horse, a bond that brought him immense joy and peace. He cherished his horse dearly, treating it with the utmost care and affection. The king wanted the best for his horse, so he decided to find someone to train his beloved horse, ensuring it received the finest care and training. He wanted to find the most skilled trainer in the land, someone who could bring out the best in his noble steed. The king searched high and low, sending messengers to every corner of his kingdom, determined to find the perfect trainer for his cherished horse. The king's messengers traveled far and wide. Finally, they found a man said to be a master horse trainer. The trainer was an older man who walked with a limp. The king was excited to meet the trainer, hoping he could teach his horse many impressive tricks. The trainer arrived at the palace, bringing with him a wealth of knowledge. He had trained horses for many years and had a way with animals. The king was pleased and entrusted his beloved horse to the trainer's care. The king looked forward to seeing his horse's progress. The trainer started working with the horse every day, teaching it how to bow, prance, and respond to commands. Weeks went by. The king came to watch his horse train, eager to see its progress. He noticed something strange. The horse seemed to be limping. The king was concerned, as he had never seen his horse limp before. The king watched the horse closely as it moved around the arena. The limp was subtle, but it was definitely there. The king was puzzled and couldn't understand why his horse was limping. The horse was young and strong, and it had always been healthy. The king couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. He decided to ask the trainer about the horse's limp, hoping the trainer would have an explanation. Section 4. A limp without a cause. The king approached the trainer with a sense of urgency. He expressed his deep concern about the horse's sudden limp, which had appeared out of nowhere. The trainer, however, did not seem surprised at all. "Your Majesty," he said calmly, "your horse has developed a limp." The king was taken aback by the trainer's nonchalant response. He immediately asked the trainer what could have caused such a mysterious limp. The trainer simply shook his head, indicating that he had no clear answer. He explained that sometimes horses develop limps for no apparent reason, a phenomenon not uncommon in the animal kingdom. He mentioned it was particularly common in horses that are undergoing rigorous training. The king, however, remained doubtful. He couldn't comprehend how his perfectly healthy and well-cared-for horse could suddenly develop a limp without any apparent cause. Determined to get to the bottom of the issue, the king decided to call for the royal doctor. The royal doctor, known for his gentle demeanor and exceptional skill, arrived promptly. He had a reputation for treating all creatures with great care and expertise. The king asked the doctor to thoroughly examine the horse to determine the cause of the limp. He was eager to understand what had led to this unexpected condition in his prized horse. Section 5. A wise servant's observation. The royal doctor arrived promptly. He examined the horse carefully. The doctor checked the horse's legs. He checked the horse's hooves. He could not find anything wrong with the horse. The horse seemed to be in perfect health. The doctor was puzzled. A wise old servant had been observing the situation. He had served the king for many years. He was known for his wisdom and keen observation skills. The servant approached the king. He shared his observation. The servant had noticed that the horse only seemed to limp when the trainer was around. When the trainer was not present, the horse walked perfectly fine. The king was intrigued by the servant's observation. He decided to investigate further. Section 6. A lesson in companionship. The king observed his horse and the trainer closely. He had been puzzled for days, trying to understand why his prized horse had suddenly developed a limp. He realized that the servant was right. The horse's limp was not due to an injury, but something else entirely. The horse only limped when it was following the trainer. This peculiar behavior intrigued the king even more. The king watched as the trainer walked across the stable yard. Each step the trainer took was mirrored by the horse. The horse followed closely behind, mimicking the trainer's limp perfectly. The king finally understood the root of the problem. His horse had not injured itself. It was simply imitating the trainer's limp, a behavior it had learned over time. It had simply learned to imitate the trainer's limp. This revelation was both amusing and enlightening for the king. The king was amused by this discovery, but he also realized the deeper implications of what he had witnessed. He realized the importance of choosing the right companions. The influence of those around us can shape our behavior in unexpected ways. He decided to find a new trainer for his horse, someone who would set a better example and help the horse thrive. The king learned a valuable lesson that day. He understood that the company we keep can have a profound impact on our lives. He learned that bad company can indeed corrupt good habits. This was a lesson he would not soon forget. He vowed to be more mindful of the influences in his own life and in the lives of those around him. The king's newfound wisdom would guide his decisions from that day forward.